In Asia.
That's my word. It's very popular and it's familiar.
Alhamdulillah.
Those states. Okay. You say, well, don't know that's for your elderly ones. Say double. Okay. Then the person will ask you, oh yeah, that is high.
This is an example from Plateau State.
Okay.
People want to say good morning. Okankanga.
And this is Igbo. To everyone. People say it's Omanke. People are going to take back to Oman. That is good morning, everyone.
Okay, say it now.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to say it and the flag that will answer it.
Number one is funding constraints, which limit their ability to provide sustained support for families. Also, budget limitation reduce the availability of resources like substance abuse treatment and community support services, making it challenging to meet families' diverse needs comprehensively. So the role of legislation and policy in child protection. The Social Work Act provides legal backing for social workers to investigate allegations of neglect. So before a case becomes a case, investigation has to be carried out if a child is truly neglected due to substance abuse. So after the investigation, they develop the case plans and enforce child protection policies. Also, this act provides the effectiveness of legislative support. Legislative support is hindered by bureaucratic and logistical barriers. So now to the recommendation. After these studies, recommendations are firstly enhancing interagency collaboration among social workers, healthcare providers, schools, and community organizations would create a supportive network that addresses children's needs more holistically. Policymakers should prioritize increased funding and policy support for child welfare programs, improving the resources available for family interventions. Also, revising and enforcing the Nigerian Social Work Act to better support partnership and adapt interventions to cultural context would reinforce social workers' capabilities. Lastly, providing ongoing training for social workers on substance abuse dynamics and trauma-informed care can equip them to respond effectively to the complex needs of these families, ultimately safeguarding the well-being of vulnerable children in the community. Thank you.
So let's take like 2 reactions to his paper. So please, reactions, questions, 1, 2. Please get this second mic. Please raise up your hands so that we can see you properly.
And sincerely, we are not producing that quality of services. And as long as that quality is diminished and reduced in quality and content, they will continue to see us as consumers and not producers. So, partly, the fault of government that appointment into social work agencies are becoming political and not professional. So what we see in government offices today are political social workers and not professional social workers. The implication is that government also is always part of our problems and not part of the solution. They are the one putting the square peg in the square peg in the rat hole. I mean, rat hole in the what's that case? They are appointing people who are not qualified for politics. Am I communicating? Yeah. And at the same time, they will fall back to us that, no, we are not producing. We are not effective. We are not seeing your impact. They are always our problems and not part of our lives. So now, in our concept of behavior, attitude, there is need for attitudinal change among social workers. Those who are not trained, who are here with us, they have to improve on their knowledge base. And those who are trained should not just see social work as a profession. They must do it indirectly. And that is the only way we can have respect. And that's the only way the government can now invest in social services in the country. The narrative must change. And that is what the Nigeria Council for Social Work, our Nigeria Council, is about to change. And let us hope for the best.
Our current problems. What they used to do during the colonial era is that the divisional social welfare offices identified individuals in the community who were willing to bring up children, foster them, until they are given out for adoption, or they belong to those foster parents when they grow up into adulthood. So that can be done. Then what the colonial government used to do is that they had a vote. So they give to those foster parents. Now that there's no funding from government, maybe we can modify that concept or that practice and identify some philanthropists who can be giving some money to these foster homes. And we do it properly. We go to court to obtain mandate, and the child is given to these foster parents legally. Okay, not adoption, but for fostering. Then if anybody comes for adoption, it is given. So these philanthropists will fund the project so that these children will not grow up in that environment. They don't grow up in that environment and become addicts. They grow up in homes that are normal, conducive, and good for their own growth. Thank you.
On behalf of the student body, Nigerian Association of Social Work Students, NASoW, we bring greetings. Quickly, we'll just do our introduction and we'll go straight to what we want to discuss with our fathers and our mothers in the house. We are the children of NASoW, and this is our mother body, and we are very privileged to be here. My name is, thank you. You can clap, don't be shy. All right. My name is Christopher Omowa, and I'm the National Vice President, Nigerian Association of Social Work Students, NASoW. I'm from the University of Benin, the 400-level student of Social Work Department. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. My name is Imanu Chinoso Palagu, and I'm the National Assistant Secretary General of NASoW, and I'm from the University of Benin, the 400-level student. Thank you.
Good morning.
Reasonable action.
Good morning, our fathers and our mothers in the house. My name is Dr. Great Ogenayile. I'm the National Financial Secretary. I'm from the University of Calabar.
Prestigious.
University of Calabar.
Good morning, thanks and mommies. My name is Kushmotulu Anikakas, the project and planning officer of NASoW from Bangkok University.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fashola Adewale Daniel. I'm from the prestigious University of Ilorin, Nigeria. I'm the Secretary General of this administration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And also, we bring greetings from our distinguished president, Martin Sibuka. He has some things to attend to, and we are covered. He sent his regards, and we are presenting the national executives and the student body at large. So we'll have a brief presentation. Please, if it's ready, we can put it on. All right. So we First, I want to appreciate everybody for the great work you have been doing for NASoW. We see the good work. We've been hearing a lot about social work act, which by the special grace of God, 2022 was and we are very happy because the future strongly depends on the execution of that act into law, and we are very concerned that our future is being pushed by our fathers and our mothers in the house. And so we want to start by saying that we are very honored to be here, and as a student body of the great association of NASoW, we are very concerned about the future of NASoW. We are very, very concerned, and we want to see that this vision do not die, even in our time. We acknowledge the sacrifices that our fathers and our mothers have made, and we are rest assured that this vision will be carried on upon the shoulders of the youth. And so this is NASoW, a vision for change. And so we bring greetings to everyone today as we'll be discussing the NASoW's achievements thus far and our vision for the future. The executive for the 2024-2025 tenure is called the Ostrich. All right, what we do is that we are concerned about the welfare of the students and the society at large. Next slide. And so, as a student body, we understand our strengths. We know that without us, we cannot do so much as an association. Without the youth, this vision cannot be carried on for long. We are the stronghold that holds this association. And so we know our place and we know our potential. This picture is the annual general meeting that was held in University of Benin. That was last year, right? Okay, this year in the month of April, where the executive was produced. And we were able to talk about the theme for the social work month, which is when a transformative change, a shared future for a transformative change. The next slide. And so we are not just here to tell you that we have a place or we have a role to play. We are often come to tell you that we have been doing certain things that has to do with advancing the social work profession. We have been moving from our end. We came into office April 2024 and we have been able to make some meaningful impact. And so this is a program that was organized by our Assistant Secretary General, which is tagged Waiting Be Social Work in collaboration with our state chapter, the NASoW. What we did is that we went to the streets to enlighten the community about social work profession. We realized that people do not know about social work. In our communities, in our school, in the marketplaces, and they are having problems in society. There is poverty, there is inequality, there is gender-based violence. And so we took to the streets, having observed this problem, to enlighten people about what social work is about. Next slide, please. And so this is also in the marketplace, enlightening the market women, telling them about what social work is. We told them this is what social work profession is. It can help them in their marriages, it can help them in poverty alleviation, it can help them in seeking solution. Next slide. And secondly, we also had a program from the Office of the National Vice President, NASoW, where we looked at fusion, art meets tech. Basically, this program is a program on mental health. And so we came up with an innovative approach to address mental health issues. And we realized that beyond just looking at the problem, there are reasons why people have mental health issues. And so we knew that art and tech can be a tool to address it. The next slide. We had a paint and sip session. We had a panel discussion where we partnered with some key people. We partnered with Tiri MTT, a project by the Tinubu-led administration, to empower 3 million Nigerian youths with technical skill talent. And by the special grace of God, people that participated in this program will be connected with them after the program to learn more about tech and art. Next slide. And we also had a webinar on technology and social work, the opportunities and challenges. I was very happy when we talked about technology yesterday, and we saw how that the youth has a role to play in bringing innovation and creativity in advancing social work. People are not aware of social work. Even the youth do not know how to leverage on technology. And so this program came from the office of the Vice President, North Central Region, that's Mr. Patrick, and he was able to enlighten the social work students about how to use technology to advance social work in their community. And also, we'll be having a special webinar from the Office of the National Secretary, Assistant Secretary General, where he will be talking about channeling your passion and dream into reality. A lot of the Nigerian students, youth, do not know how to channel their potential to make impact. I talked about how we use art and tech to address issues. Many young persons still have these skills, but they don't know how to. And so this program will be holding on the 8th of December online. We will share the flyer across our groups so that you can share with your students to learn and be part of this change that we are creating. Next slide. And we have our recommendation. I'm so happy when our IFSW Africa president mentioned some things yesterday, and she literally answered the questions in my heart concerning the way forward, the role of the youth, the role of the students, and it saves me a lot of stress. So first of all, our recommendation is that we want to collaborate and partner with NASoW. That was why we paid the sacrifice to be here. We came from Benin, Calabar, Unilori, Babcock University, because we are interested in the future of this association. Yes, you can clap. Go. And then secondly, resource mobilization. A lot of us have the potential, we have the skill set. I'm a tech enthusiast. I can build a website, I can design a prototype for a website, I can use art to talk about social problems. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, Christianist Concept, you will see that I've been able to use film and drama. Yeah, just check, Christianist Concept, film and drama to talk about social problems. I have a film on gender-based violence, I have a film on human trafficking. I did a film 2021 on electoral violence to address the issues in those states then, and it went viral. And I also had a recent film on using film to talk about hypertension. We did a community project in the Kiadolo building where we talked about these things. So beyond just entertainment, film and arts can address social problems, and that is where we need the NASoW body to help us and other relevant stakeholders to bring their resources together. And lastly, community engagement. Having conversations like this, having exchange programs like this can help us. We are not shy to travel to Uganda for a conference. We want to be part of the program happening in the Western world. We want to tell them that Nigerian youth has the potential for change. We want to tell them that we have the capacity to address social problems. We want to carry the cost of NASoW on our shoulder. The social work bill, the Council of Social Work bill, is the little thing we can do, is the least we can do. But we cannot do it when we are not empowered. We cannot do it when we are not given a seat on the table to discuss with relevant stakeholders. And our daddy told us a lot about the bill. We've heard it, and we want to make our commitment that we will partner with NASoW to make this vision come alive. We will partner with the vision to bring it to life. And lastly, our National Financial Secretary, based on the program that was did on technology, he mentioned that he has a proposal to build a website where our students and even people in our community can come online to tell professionals about what they are going through, because some people don't want to talk to people face to face. There is this stigma. They can connect online, they can connect using technology to talk about this problem, and we will see that we will make massive impact. And so the All Street Executive is here to partner with the NASoW Executive and the body at large to make impact. We just want our voice to be heard. Greatest NASoW! Last slide. Thank you. Together we can build a brighter future where we can bring a transformative change. Thank you for this privilege. Thank you for everything you do for the vision. Greatest NASoW!
Celebrate them now. Before now, students are very shy to come out and speak to us. Oh, I love you guys. In short, before you return back, well, you can sit down, everybody. I will say it. Mr. President, sir, thank you. I know you want to say a word to them. Thank you very much.
Can the students come on board? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, man is a product of past experiences. And I will address these students today, having seen their presentations with emotions. I would like to say one or two things. And I will say from my past experience as head of the Department of Medical Social Service, University of Ilorin, teaching hospital for 13 years. I was in a conference one day, and my CMD shouted from the crowd, "What is social service department doing? What are you doing? I've not been seeing your impact. We have not been seeing what you are doing within the hospital." I sat down and I watched him for him to land. And I told him clearly the way I've said earlier in my discussion with you this morning, that you, the CMD, you are part of our program. I said, why? You are the one appointing unprofessional, untrained social workers to my department. Loading my department under BSc social work and other and relevant degrees in social science, bringing SC, social education, social studies, bringing all wonders to my department. And we were raising issue with you. We refused to listen to you because you are political. You are not behaving like a professional leader, but like a political leader. How can you be bringing all sorts of things to our department? And we think that going to make sense. When we have the new generation of social workers, we won't be about to stick to that job. And that is what has been happening in most institutions. Look at the new generation of social workers who can add value to what they are doing. They are not given the opportunity to perform, to belong. And that's the crisis we are having in Nigeria today. And that is why we are agitating for the Nigeria Council for Social Work, which has now been signed to the act of whereby nobody can just be taking the responsibility that are meant for the new generation of the job. We have had enough of them, but this coming generation of the social workers must be protected and must be guided. And that's why we have been agitating that the profession will be backed by Act of Parliament. And we have succeeded in doing that. We appreciate you. We acknowledge you. We will always be there for you. You see, and listen to you with emotions. When I had a flashback on how they are putting on great social workers across the teaching hospital, across other universities in the country. When we have brand new social workers who can add value to society, when we are going to we continue to stand for you. We have always been there because of your tomorrow. We have always been there because of your tomorrow. And the journey has not been all that easy for us. We have had a lot of challenges. The emancipation of social work profession in Nigeria is not a child's play. And it's not for the chicken hearted. Many times we have to stand up with our heads erect and ask because of your future. We continue to pray for you, we continue to support you. Look at the generation of social workers, the professionals here. We have had our time, we have done our bits. All we are here because of you. So thanks so much for being here. We continue to be with you. We continue to be there for you. We will continue to struggle until we arrive at the promised land. And we will continue.
She's a lady that has been in the university for 4 years. But her 4th year, she just got a little bit ill and she got blind in less than 3 days. And they've flown her to 3 countries. And they've not been able to say this is what is wrong with her. She's depressed. She can also go and start special education because she can't read braille. Braille is what, you know, how you use your fingers to read and all that, because anytime she tries that, that is without, you know, having to use braille and all that. At the end of the day, Al Jazeera looks for us, not that we went to go and look for newspaper. It came out in the newspaper, they came to the center, we had a live radio, there's something that he did, live program. It did not just help the girl, other people that had challenges with their eyes were happy, they were calling. We want to come, we want to let people know that we can do some of these things this lady did. Why do I say this? I say this because social workers are not baby sellers. Social workers are not people that do things just to make money. Social workers are those people, they are heroes, those people that sell their own life to be able to put a smile on somebody's face. And if there's anything we came here to do today, yes, we want to collaborate with other people, but it's for the sake of what? Social workers. Can I get the next slide, please? So, when we talk about social work, people see it in different lights. Some people say, yes, work with family, work with individuals, work with the society. Yes. Some people say, yes, social change and all that. You know, when I read social work, it's different from reading social work. And it's much interesting when you are practicing social work. If you're a social worker and every time you come back home, you are so happy, you are not a social worker. There's sometimes you come back home, you feel that you have not done enough because you have left that client still wondering what the person will do with his life. So what is social work? Can we go to the next slide? Social work, like I said, aims at improving the well-being of individuals, families, and community. It is a practice-based profession, you know, academic and all that we know this definition. But what is most important about it is these 3. We work with individuals, we work with families, we work with larger groups. Okay? So when we talk about this, the micro, it's a direct practice where you work with individuals, especially for people that work in a school as a school social worker. You could have a child and they call you and say, this child was doing well before, but the child is no longer performing. You have to start wanting to go into assessment, reviewing, and all that. You are doing individual. Now, micro. Sometimes you extend to family. I'm going to give a proper example that will cover that. NASoW. I just cut it short because there's a full paper there, but this is just PowerPoint presentation, but there's a full paper there. Now, for instance, there's a child, like I said, the micro, if you interview the child has a challenge. It's not coping in school again. But your assessment shows or your review shows that this child has been doing well before. Why is this child not doing like this again? Then you now say, okay. In the course of your work with this child, you find out that it's traced to the family. You have, the first one is micro, individual. You have left micro to what? To what? Now you have gone to the family to say, we want to know this child has been doing well before. What's wrong? Then in the family find that these couples are having and all that. Now, you go out there to start looking for how you will help him get a job. You find out they are saying no jobs because of they see how subsidy and everything are good. You want to start making advocacy for us to see how we make governments, make policies that will help. You are going to what? Macro. Do you understand? Now, the most important thing we're taking out today is that in social works, when we work with individuals, when we work with families, you work with other organizations, that's where we get the collaboration. Development partners refer to organization, government and media, we all know this. They are development partners. But most times, even though they call themselves development partners, some people are business oriented, meaning that sometimes when you want to go for favor for some of these development, in fact, before you come, they already want to use you for that favor. So some of these development partners are not doing this because they want to help you, it's because they want to use you to shine. Okay? But we'll go to that. So these are, it can be governmental, it can be non, it can be philanthropies and all that. They are all development partners, mobilization, improve. Now, most times when you have a program, you need ideas. Sometimes not just one person that come out of it. Some when they see politics only money. Sometimes when you collaborate with these people, they have experts with them. So as you're coming, if you're bringing ideas, they have people that will make your ideas, get better. There's money in the back of this. But resource mobilization, they help people, resources, and all that. If you have more than maybe because patient of all new problems like time, it will help you reach where you cannot. Okay? Then improve service delivery. When we had a program with the I was one of the resource persons. When we were talking with them, they said, I also want to be one of the resource persons in the UK. And the last thing is that you're going to push this program in our venue. And we want us to know in our venue. It's always good for you to know that you have a program that's we are watching. And once we know that, they know that we are watching. For instance, I was going out one day, I saw a girl. The girl is 16 years old girl. She's still she has been sleeping outside for 5 days. And people were affected. Why is this girl sleeping outside the body? She's not necessarily, she's okay. Now, walking a little bit across is where they have people that were on drugs. I was very angry. And when they just talking people, I said no. I asked her some questions. She told me that this is the second time it's happening. Her sister will send her away. She has to sleep outside. She has her presses out there. Those boys are smoking here. She could be abused. Then I said, okay, if that's what happened, this is going to be the last time because I would leave this case. I know in Nigeria some of it done it. So when I was taking her, I said, madam. I said, no, madam. I will go. They said, no. That the sister's husband is the head of that police station. You want to go and report to her? I said, okay. So meaning that when I go back to that police station, the girl will remain outside. The girl will be beaten and send the okay, no, they'll come straight to the governmental office. I won't tell you the office because your member can be here. Okay? Now I took her straight to the office. Believing after calling our president, I said, this is what happened. He said, okay, go to this office, go to this office. I was very, very, very angry that I got to the office. The manner of approach was poor, and they said that after I left, they called me on phone. Where is police report? If you don't have police report, we cannot do anything. After like an hour, when they said, okay, I said, if I go and pick this girl, I'll look for other people that will handle it because I think there are social workers that are trained there. Yes, I've breached a little protocol of not going to police station. But I believe that sometimes things are flexible, which we're going to talk about in the course of this. Sometimes there should be some of these policemen or that working with agencies. And that's why when somebody is bruising, maybe he's shot and all that comes to the person died, you say, no, where's for this report? The person dies, I said, they cancel that report. So I left and I brought the girl back. I went to the police station. The same person I said, I have somebody to call, I got this. Then I said, I'm taking this girl something. Our president, our national president is aware of this case. And because they came with maybe mudu of rice, or they say they want to have counseling session, go to most centers here. Most of them are not even trained social workers, even if you're not professional. But some of them have just been caregivers maybe outside the country or something, and when they just open an outlet and they act that way. And they are tarnishing our images every day. They say they are social workers. So when we have the body that will do this, it will help us. Okay? Then, guiding principles, even for you as a social worker. First of all, who are you? Are you registered? Do you read social works? What's your basis of that practice and all that? If you know this, it will help you yourself to be able to stand anywhere. The first time I came into Abuja, they said I should come and become a coordinator of IEP, that's your educational plan in the school. I said no. He said no, you are going to be the second person in the school. I said no. I want to be the social worker of the school. I don't want a name. And that says, okay, what social worker? That's how they created an office. Okay, advocate yourself. Once you know who you are. But when you've not schooled yourself or that, you are not even trained, you don't want to learn, how will you now be coming to answer social work? So a social worker. So the authentication of your this is very important. Then get familiar with the goals and objectives of the person you want to collaborate with. For instance, I've been working with NGOs, or I'm an NGO, I'm not a governmental person. When you want to write to an office, you try to know for each year they have a goal. Not just having a goal, there's an aim for every center you see. Some are women, some are children from the streets, some are scholarship. So as social workers, when you want to apply for grants or whatever you want, you must know what their own aim is. Whether you like it or not, these collaborators or whoever you want to is also benefiting from you. So if whatever you are coming with to them with doesn't correspond with what their own aim or goal is, you're wasting your time. But because as they want to help you, you are also helping them. So you must also go for research to find out, are these people interested in women, helping women? Are these people interested in helping children? Are these people interested in helping people out of school and all that? If you do that, you'll find out that you're able to get whatever you want easily. The next one is, mutual respect. Just like you will respect them in the business, not that by 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, because they say they will help you, start calling them. Okay, so make sure that in the course of whatever you do with them, also know that it's official and professional. Even when you even have somebody there, you find that things will move the way it's supposed to move. Then, accountability and transparency. Anytime you're happy to work with some of these people, especially the UN and all that. I remember I went somewhere to work. I didn't know they'd given them grants before, but because I was having a place, when they were asking of reports for that grant they gave them, I suffered. They want to the 1 naira they gave me, they will keep asking for reports. You have to snap pictures. So anytime you're collaborating with them from beginning, this is what I want to do with this money. Even though at the middle maybe you have to do for something else, but this is what we did. This is how we did. This is a picture. This is what is going on. They want feedbacks. They want to see that what I'm giving you, you're using it for something. I went to Kuje to see some children with special needs. They said that those children are suffering, we had to draw a program. One of them, when I went there, was not very close and she was having seizure. They were about 15. They're girls. People that were their caregivers are boys. That's just one. Then secondly, when I was trying to get the mental partners to partner, they said they have gone to that place 3 times. Meaning that they funded the first time. They funded the second time. This is the third time. Meaning that those people use those children to pose that they need money. And once that money comes to them, they don't do anything about the children. Even when you go to that place in Kuje, from the junction of where the center is to the center itself, it's very scary. Even for me, when I was there, I was so afraid because there's no security. I push, then you can't build one house inside and 2 children. The worst is that the person that is one of their directors in that place is a staff of the National Assembly. So what, of course, I found out she does, she uses her colleagues to come there and they form the place. So you use children to make money and you say that you're actually doing social welfare services, which is what we see every day. So most times, we have to look at some of these things that are very important to do. Be transparent, get your reports, make sure that the money they are giving you, you're using it. Apart from the report for them, even for God, let your conscience be clear. Then, equality and inclusive, get them involved, especially in the community where you're doing things, and you have people like that. Get them, get 1 or 2 of them, let them know what you're doing, follow you, get what you're doing. Then cultural sensitivity. If you are somewhere, for instance, in African culture, there's some things that cannot hide you. Even if you meet the richest man there, and you say that, because of the code, once the girls here to be wearing trousers, and in their culture, what they know that women do is buy wrapper. No matter how you try to, they will not buy into that idea because their culture is really what? Like, so they do their culture. What you're bringing, is it what is applicable? Sorry, what you're bringing, is it what is applicable to their culture and all that? If it's not applicable, you can't try them. So you look at that also. Very, very important. The next slide, please. The next slide. Okay, benefits of engagement, like we discussed it already. Increase even funding and all that, still almost like that. Improve capacity building. Most times, most of this help in trainings. Even they help you fund trainings. Some of you in your offices, sometimes you see, they say this NGO is training, this NGO is training, this NGO is training. It helps in capacity building. Okay, sometimes even when your funds can't train your staffs, when you collaborate with these people, or you go to a place where you think these people have a social problem. Now, there are some things we can't discuss because of time. Individual challenges, social problem. When you want to address a matter, and just two people that have those issues come and look for collaborators, sometimes they're not listening to you. It must be a what? Social problem. It must be a challenge that affects significant number of people. Okay? So, it has advocacy and policy, especially in the macro, when you have to be doing, please help, we want this poverty to stop, you're writing like...
Actually, I have to commend the presenter. But one key issue I want us to take note is, when conducting social work, is the root cause analysis. Anything we are doing, we should try to do what we call problem-free analysis. Because in many cases, I have seen people going to the hospital, about 80% are not really sick. It might be as a societal pressure. People into court. One question I keep asking social worker is, are we doing our work the way that is expected? If we are doing our responsibility right, we have less court cases, less health issues. Because issues like court cases come as a result of societal problem. And the people to fix the society are the social workers. Something happened with some children playing football. They contributed 10,000 to buy football. One of the boys took the money away. The children, I saw them taking him to the police station. Where are you when they say they are going to police station? I said, this issue can be resolved within us. I said, where is the boy? They say he's here. I saw him with a phone that worth 150,000. Then I said, can I see the phone? I collected the phone. I gave them 10,000. I said, when you get the 10,000, you come and I will give you the phone back. Before you know, in less than 1 hour, he is with the 10,000. So if social workers can raise their responsibility, we have less cases of court. Health issue in the other aspect. 80% of people you see in the hospital, not all are sick. It's as a result of what? Societal pressure. And if social workers will enlighten the society, the pressure will reduce. Because societal issues lead to personal problem. And personal problem lead to what? Psychological. And if it's not that, will lead to what? A mental issue. And I believe social worker will raise to our responsibility. Thank you so much.
I observed what she said with Kaduna State. I'm always referring to my state, because that's where I grew up in, and that's where I grew up in, but almost my 70 years. So I always talk about where I come from. This police issue is a serious thing. When you take abandoned babies, they take them and give somebody else. Yes. Number one. Number two, they make you pay money to write reports and even their transportation. So what I do, though I'm not in the civil service, I have my NGO, I always go to civil defense. And I've got a very good relationship with civil defense in the area I come from. So if it's a child rape case, civil defense, police will not cover up. They'll pursue it. Any kind of things, if you have civil defense around you, cooperate with them. Secondly, I don't know about your states, but in Kaduna State, this upgrading of knowledge, sending workers to school, maybe to courses, it's becoming a challenge. Sometimes politicians employ their relatives who do sociology or psychology, and they give them the positions of officers. I don't know how a social worker will be in the ministry headquarters. Why he has not worked in the local government? I don't know, in my state, you work in the local government to learn, to grow, to be groomed before you are taken to the headquarters. They must have run 3 or 4 local governments. But now you see them straight from the university in the headquarters. And they are the ones handling cases, and there are no cases in the office. So I don't know what's going on. As if the civil service or the social work profession is not only in coma, maybe dead. Because if I call a social worker sometimes not to do some work in the shop, in Kaduna, in some of the local government. So there's something we have to do when we go back. I think Because even in the platform, if you check your pages, the social workers in the local government, most of them are not part of the platform, isn't it? And the headquarters found that they are graduates from other institutions that are at the top in the ministry. So we need to create awareness for our commissioners. In fact, even the head of service, that certain changes have to take place. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mrs. Pearlie Hazard, a PhD student. In the quest of knowledge, I found myself here. This happened to be my very first time in a conference like this, and I am very, very happy that I'm here because most of my questions have been answered. I am a school owner here in Abuja, and I'm saddled with the responsibility of doing a research that has to do with collaboration. Madam, thank you very much for this beautiful presentation. I found that when we go for feed service, when we go to schools, we found that there is this disparity between social workers and guardians and counselors in school, because that's where I am writing on. That's my research thesis. I found that this collaboration you're talking about is not really on ground there. In secondary schools, in government schools, worse still is the private schools. We found that the social workers are not given their place at all. That's what I have found out. That's what I'm researching on. The social workers are not given their space at all because the guidance and counselor will tell you, this is not your job. This is not your job. This is not your job. At some point, I became redundant when I went to government, one of the government schools, or some government schools here in FCT. I became redundant. I was like, I'm a social worker for God's sake. This case that has come now, I am supposed to be handling it. But you see, the vehement refusal of the guidance and counselor is giving me worry. It's making me worry because we are here now. None of you, some of us, have never gone to schools to find out what is happening on ground. Physically, we are being abused to an extent. Sorry, I'm using that word. We are being abused. Sometimes I feel like crying because it is even affecting the children and their scores in WAEC and JAM. Some of them have issues. They are supposed to be referred to us as social workers, but the guardians and counselor personnel take them and start talking to them. They are not trained. I am trained to do that, but I'm not given the opportunity. I would like you to throw one light on it if you can, or if anybody here, because it's my quest for knowledge. I really want to know. I have tried writing, but it's like my letters are not reaching the appropriate place. So I think this is a very good opportunity. This is a very good place where we can talk about it. If it's not written, if it's not included in the act we have, maybe we can try and see how we can infuse it in so that the social workers will be given their place. Thank you.
Yeah, she just walked in, she's here. Thank you. And I want to recognize my friend who walked in just equally to Dr. Okoro. He's a very great friend and a member of NASoW FCT. Okay, he's here. And so we'll take, sir, please, I'm going to take yours, but let me give to Prof first. I beg you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mildred Valley. You have made me to be very, very happy today. My chest that there stands my former student. Okay. Guidance counseling and school social work. They are two different professions working in the same place. Just as medical doctors, pharmacists, nurses, and all that work in the same place. They do different jobs. But the problem with us in Nigeria is that we want to dominate. So guidance counselors want to dominate, which is not right. They are concerned with career guidance. social workers are concerned with social problems in the school environment that affect learning competence. Now, the social worker is supposed to work with the student, with the teacher, to see how social issues in the school environment and outside the school environment affect the learning competence of the student. Now, there are some problems outside the school, like couples fighting each other, that will affect the learning competence of the student. What is the business of the guidance counselor with that? She has nothing to do with that. It is the business of the school social worker to open up, identify some issues and handle them. Work with the student, work with the parents, reconcile the parents so that the student will not concentrate on what he or she is doing in the school. If the guardian, the effective guardian of that student, gets ill, is hospitalized, it affects the learning competence of the pupil, of the student. That has nothing to do with the guidance counselor. It is the job of the school social worker. If the pupil is overloaded with academic activities and is going kolo, it is the business of the school social worker, not the guidance counselor. Okay? So we need to identify these issues clearly and get these people to know. I don't know whether our national president can organize a party where they have an association of guidance counselors. If our national president can organize that, and we sit with them and talk with them in the presence of the director of primary, director of secondary education. Let's sit and talk with them. Let them know our job and their own job. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, online. Online.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, particularly the president of NASoW and all other colleagues that are here. I consider this a wonderful privilege to stand before you. I'm just taking advantage. I'm sorry for the breach in protocol, but let me quickly comment Mildred for the paper she presented. I was indisposed. I came to Abuja yesterday. I couldn't come because I'm indisposed, but I'm recovering very fast. So thank you so much. I've listened with keen attention and interest since I came in, though briefly. One thing that I want to emphasize, social workers, we need to be crazy about our profession. We need to know the subject matter very, very well. Nobody will do it for you. If you want partnership, understand why you are a social worker. What is the profession about? What are you expected to do? For a long time, we've been so silent. But I want to commend the effort of the current leadership. They are doing great and marvelous things. But still, in a lot of levels, a lot of us are quiet. We don't I'm sorry, I have to use this to provoke us to action. A lot of us lack the capacity. Started together. I'm always proud to tell you how I started. My child, who is now a graduate, was 6 months. I was nursing him. I traveled to Delta for NASoW meeting. Thank you, my brother. We were all there with them. No penny was given. And you know, for me from the north, going to Delta with a nursing baby, that shows commitment. And that's what has been cheering me until now. It's not really about the money. Our work is a humanitarian service. So we need to be involved at all levels. Most times, SEMA, NEMA, and so many humanitarian aids that are being given, social workers are absent. And that's why it is not too effective. I believe any professional social worker that is integrated in any intervention strategy in Nigeria will not remain the same. Congratulations.
Please, as you're making your contributions, just be a little brief. Please, you can go and sit down now. You can take PhD exam. Go and sit down, you have done your part. We are just discussing your paper. Okay, the last man there. Okay, there's another. Yes. Okay, Okoro, you will take class. You will take class. Let him take, then you will take class. Right?
I just came back from Sweden. I studied in Sweden. I studied social work, specialization in international social work. So, since yesterday we've been discussing the different roles that social workers can play to address societal issues. How we can partner with development partners. But there's something I've not heard us talk about. And I think it's very, very important in social work practice. And that is the coping strategies of social workers intervening in different areas. We've not talked about it, and it's very, very important. Because studies have shown that sometimes social workers are burnt out. They are worn out. There are even places where social workers attempt suicide. Some even commit suicide. So how are they coping in different areas that we are intervening? We did a study from my school in Sweden, and that study was coping strategies on social workers intervening in conflict-armed zone. And our focus was on Borno State, Nigeria, from Sweden. We did a study on Borno State, the social workers intervening in the conflict-armed zone. So how are they coping? Because these people, some have families, like the last speaker said, if you're a social worker and you come back home and you are smiling, you are happy, that means you are not a good social worker. During our studies in Sweden, we conducted different areas. We find out that many social workers who are not well informed of what they are going into, so end up becoming worse than the clients. Yes, they are supposed to help. So how are we, NASoW, how are we going to organize programs that will help social workers, prepare us? Yeah, I'm a fresh graduate. I just graduated last year. How are we going to help social workers, like preparing our ground? Oh, this is what we are going to face tomorrow. So are you going to give up? I had a problem in Sweden. When I was almost finishing, I wanted to renew my visa. The visa was denied. Then I wrote to the course coordinator that I need to appeal the decision. When I wrote the letter to the course coordinator in my school, she replied to me, and this is what she said. Terry, I'm sorry that immigration denied your paper. Please, I'm sending you a link. Fill this form and suspend your study. That was what she said to me. I wanted to quit. I was the one sponsoring myself. My school fee was almost 5 million every semester. So I worked 3 jobs to pay my tuition fee. I work in the night, I work in the day, I go to school. I thought of the distance that I covered to come to Sweden. I said, I'm not going to quit. I thought of some of our classmates, nursing mothers. They stay awake, they want to be at lecture because we are doing hybrid program. Hybrid is a situation whereby some will be in the class, some will be attending online. Some persons wake up 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to take lectures. So when I think about all these people, I said I'm not going to give up. At the end, the day we were graduating, I was selected to give the graduation speech. And I asked a question. Does it mean that someone who is being trained to go out there to help others is not qualified to receive help? So that's why I'm saying this thing. Whenever we are carrying programs like this, please let us always put it, the coping strategies that we social workers can use. We learn from people that work in conflict armed zones, people intervening with traffickers, different areas. How are you coping? Because I know in Nigeria, in Africa, suicide is not our thing, but in Europe, it's very common. Sweden is one of the richest countries in the world. But you know what? They have high suicidal rates. So please, I want us to just put it into practice and see how we can incorporate it into our programs to teach people how to cope in different areas that we are intervening. Thank you very much.
My friend, another leaders of NASoW, they are here today. But I want to address a lot of issues facing the social work practice in Nigeria. You pointed some aspects. Sometimes we become so emotional and intentional. We have to be intentional if we must succeed. Self-identification comes before public identification. How much have we done in Nigeria or in our local places to promote the social work? It happened that issue of selfishness have taken the center of our mental distribution. If we can internalize some of the things we are doing here and our assembly here this year and make some level of comparison with previous years, you'll be able to tell yourself that we are not doing well, despite having leaders that are pushing to ensure that we're getting better. Wow! Sometimes I wish that my younger ones, the students that are here now, when we are talking about resources, everybody focuses on money. But there are other areas of critical resources that we are not really touching. What of human relation resources? What of knowledge-based economic resources? Are we really addressing some of these issues? If you are not knowledgeable enough to tell those in the public about yourself, there's no way they can champion what you ought to champion because the knowledge is not there. Academically, we are doing well, but the practical aspects of projecting the social work and navigating it for the world to understand what we are doing, we are just saying. Here in social development, I wonder how many persons that are social workers are registered to participate in this program. So in North Central, you have done a lot for Federal University in Latvia. In the case of knowledge-based economy that is producing a lot of giants in social work today. But I look around, how many of those students or the professionals that are here? They may not spend so much to be here. But what happened? We will struggle to ensure that some of our leaders and the pathfinders, they are there on top. But once they get there, selfishness will just cover their mental distribution. They do not
sponsor the younger ones to grow? What does it take that those our HODs and so on and so forth, they sponsor students to come to this program? That is what we are talking about. Awareness is not our problem. If you go to National Assembly, they are aware that social work profession is in existence, true of us. But sometimes they will sit at their corner to observe the kind of behavior these people that say they are professional are distributing. That is the problem. Self-centeredness. We have to remove ourselves from such concepts if must progress. Finally, personality built on individuals or teamwork built on individuals have been a syndrome holding us. We have to build a teamwork around this profession. When we build a teamwork around this profession, those things will succeed. Even when individuals are not doing well, the profession will succeed. But when we build a teamwork around individuals, when an individual is disappointed, the profession will do what? Will collapse. And we have to learn how to honor our own. I thought when we come to this program, that one of the first things we should do is to recognize some of our heroes that died. Social, I'm coming. I was here when my own brother and the incoming giant gave a cognition, a 1 minute silence to two persons that died this year. True of us, we did that. That is not enough.
Participants, you can all read there. There's need to be a synergy between NASoW. NASoW. I wish to know the full meaning of NASoW. Okay, Counseling Association of Nigeria and NASoW. Okay, it's based on the counseling information, so you can all see there. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. As ready, is Mina on now? Is she there?
No.
She's not on. Okay, I want us to do something, please. Distinguished professor, please. I want to beg you to stand, sir. Only you. If you know you're a professor in the building, Professora Kada. Professora Kada. I say professor. Because people are wearing uniform. Professor, okay, you did that Kada, stand up. You did, you don't did, you did, Nana, stand up. We have seen your uniform. So anybody wearing this blue, stand up. Everybody wearing the dog, sit down, not the other blue. Sit down. You stand. No, not sit down, not that blue. Sit down, you sit down, you stand. Alajina, stand. Please come together. Come to Prof's table. Thank you very much. It's actually a good color. It's my color. I don't know why I didn't wear that today. Okay, I just wanted them to walk a little here, but everybody just stand up, stand up, stand up. Everybody stand up. Stand up, stand up. For the champion, stand up. Oh, stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up for the champion, stand up. Can you move round? Greet 5 persons, just move round, greet 5 persons. Prof, can just move round, greet. As I'm greeting, give the person number 1. Greet another person number 2. Greet number 3. Greet number 4. I know congregation. You people should go and greet another person in our uniform. Please greet 5 persons. Nobody is greeting me. I don't belong to blue. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm putting 2. I'm getting 3. Yeah. I'm getting 4. 9, 1, 5. That is what I jara. All right. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, distinguished guests. Thank you. You may not. Thank you. All right, you can give me something on the background if you're there. That's the program. don't mind, you can stand up and dance wherever you are. We are getting ready for our lunch. Celebrate as a sister woman. Don't ignore the sister woman. Yeah, enjoy the sister woman. Where can see that come and show the from better easy. Do some videos. Let's go as the class. Please, get the lunch ready what to eat. Please, come on, you don't play. Okay. Hey, that's something local. Yeah, this one is for chicken with big balls.
Who create and dispute, who create man from the bare single male and female, who create man from the single clot of blood. You are all welcome. As name implies, I am Kabu Jawi Busy by name, Director of Humanitarian from Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management in Yobe State. I am one of the stakeholders in Yobe State in the hemispheres of the Association of Social Workers. Today, I'm extremely glad to be in your midst because Nigeria, as a giant of the African nations, today you are celebrating the 39th conference of the Nigerian Association of Social Workers. In fact, I have nothing to say rather than to thank the Almighty Allah for being in your midst. To say short, social workers play a great role in the development of Nigerian contents or other African nations, and we have a representative of the entire African continent here, my sister with us, and the national president and other leadership. Social workers today, not only in Yobe, in the Bay State, Northern Nigeria, and Nigeria at large, they play a vital role because at my own side as a stakeholder, we have a lot of projects in the Bay State. When we say Bay State, we mean Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa. They are the most affected state that undergo the process of insurgency. And today, we are in development nexus, heading to durable solution nexus. And social workers play a vital role because in terms of counseling, psychosocial support to victims of Boko Haram, they play a vital role in counseling and other processes in the region and northern Nigeria at large. With this today, we have a lot of consortium projects going on. Currently, yesterday, I was issue of the aftermath of the flooding that happens in Borno and other parts of the Nigeria, which as the process of that flooding and other disasters, be it natural and man-made, today we are facing a lot of problems. People are in trauma, people need counseling, people need psychosocial support. There are a lot of gender-based violence. With this, therefore, social workers play a great role in such process. Therefore, I ask Mr. President, the representative of the African nations, my sister here, the leadership, to put all hands on deck to ensure that going by the 39 conference here, I think it will go a long way, because when we say 39 conference, and it means this association has stayed in Nigeria for about not less than 70 years. With this, therefore, I urge you that all hands shall be on deck so that we will move the Nigeria as a continent, as our motherland was Africa, and all in that. Thank you very much, and may God bless us.
And our ex-official and board member, a pastor and a very senior daddy. I'm owing you something today. Please come and do us a closing remark so that we can return back to our hotels and rest against tomorrow. Please put it on for daddy. He's been sitting for so long. And in the wisdom of Mr. President, I should call him to come and do closing remark so that he can at least raise his leg. Thank you, sir.
The President, African region, Comrade Tony Adeleke, the National President, the #1 social worker in Nigeria, Alhaji Moshood Mustafa, our elder statesman, a distinguished scholar, Professor Idio, distinguished colleagues, let me start by appreciating our President for giving me this recognition to say the closing remark. Thank you, Mr. President. We want to appreciate God. Man proposes, God disposes. For making the 39th annual conference general meeting a reality. Thank him for joining mercies down to this place. We want to appreciate him for the success of yesterday's program and that of today. I have no out of doubt in my mind that we've been tremendously blessed, that our wealth of experience has been further enriched with the robust paper presentations that have been made so far by our distinguished scholars. All I have to say is that all that we have learned, all that we have gained in all these presentations, we should bring them to bear in our respective service delivery when we get back home, so that we not be like someone who has looked himself in the mirror and he saw some mistakes that he needs to attend to, and he fails to do so. Let me appreciate each and every one of us for our contributions at this conference, and I want us to please ensure that we do same in our meeting tomorrow. Let us participate effectively. And you know, our profession is that of service to humanity. It's more or less a selfless service. So wherever we are, whatever it is that we are doing, let us put the welfare
of fellow human beings as our priority. As we continue to do so, we will equally be blessed. So I want to, on behalf of Mr. President, of African region and the national president, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming, for your participation. And of course, I must commend our indefatigable MC. Yes, please let us appreciate him. As a matter of fact, he's a professional MC. Very articulate in his coordination. Once more, I say thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, we'd like to take our first paper for today. But before we do that, I have the instruction of the organizers to ask the DJ to give us something on the background for us to set up properly and get the needed slides and information on the media team. So please, DJ, give us something on the background. And that your assistant here has started. So resume your seats, please. Everybody resume your seats. Please return back to your seats. Please return back to your seats. Mr. President, sir, please, I want everybody to sit down. I don't know how to say this. Please, can you just get a seat for yourself? You will snap, there will be time for photo sessions. Please, let's sit down. Those of you outside, please come inside and sit down. Well, at this point, Mr. President, sir, welcome, man. I understand that some of our senior people are just walking in. Welcome. Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point I'd like to welcome in our midst one of our presenters who just flew to Nigeria yesterday just to do justice to this paper. I want to beg you to sit down, please, everybody. Permit me to welcome Diana Malene Perez, all the way from Mexico, who is here in our midst to do justice to a paper titled Education and Social Work. Please put your hands together for her as she takes her lectures. Please, may we rise and celebrate her. Rise and put your hands together for our paper presenter. Put your hands together for her. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I hope you be okay, because I am happy to stay here in community and to have some experience in English. First, I need that you remember when you was in school. Do you remember the school? Do you remember when you have a good teachers or not good teachers? What is the difference, good teacher and not good teacher? Do you have social workers at school? Kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, high school, career? No, no social worker. Because our profession is not regular, don't have in Mexico don't have recognized are good. It's not good. But we are working to make the difference, to make changes. My experience 22 years work at school with teenagers. What is the difference? They say yes to change. That's it. I remember good teachers. Yeah, I remember not good teachers. I choose social worker like I didn't decide to social work because I was fired to another career, administration, economics. I wasn't good. I made tests. In the test say different country start in education. It's the most important in education. You need to put attention with the teenagers and babies, kindergarten, to help them resolve their problems. The problems in the schooling is the law, the economics, parents have to take care of jobs. And in the school we have the most important is when your student don't come to the school, you need to investigate and to prepare to return to school. What happened with them? If they are on the street, you lose them. And they narco-traffic take them. It's the responsibility. Is you love them, they won't. You take to school, you bring opportunity to change their life. Is the most important. We need to change the thing now at school. At school is the difference for to change all the situation. A school for prepare the next social worker must to be prepared to bring the tools necessary to give answer the problems in education, because it's my experience in education. But in the school, you are with the student, you are a lawyer, mom, doctor, another thing. I studied basic to bring when the student feel bad, you need to attend. Special education is another area important. In Mexico, they have include to school. If you don't accept person in a special condition, you will have loud problems. because he's the best juniors. I don't know if here you include the special education, because most of them need opportunity to learn at school and bring the tool to in the future to have a work independence life. So the social worker, we are the heart in the school. We are the heart in the city, in the country, because we understand the situation. It's very, very, very important. Partners, they help to social workers. And now we have a day for social workers in Mexico, 21 August, National Day for Social Workers. What is the function principal at school? To prevent the student take drugs, to prevent violence. We are prepared to give a conference or organize a conference. And in my experience, I prefer that another person come to the school and talk with them. It's worse. It's a different than don't, prevent, and prevent. The student need to be or to feel that someone love them, listen, and help them to resolve their problems. Maybe you look at teacher, not good teacher with the student. You need to talk and do it the best. I had some problem with teachers because they know good person with the student. Yeah, I must to change the school. No problem. I help them. Is the difference? What is the difference that you are doing with them? What is the difference? What is the difference? Is change the thing now and take the rule important as and carry in the student of social work start to change the thing. Because when they finish at Mexico, they want to work in an office, in a condition. No. You must work in the society, in the school, in the community. No, in a condition office is not our place. Yeah. This picture, 10 years ago, in Mexico we have escolta is the person with the flag. In the school, we are in a national song and the flag, and the student have the student have a participate. If they won, we celebrate. And we went to the restaurant 10 years ago. Now it's different. It's very difficult to take them out of the school about the situation and the security. Very hard. We had happy times in the with my students. And another question. I am a volunteer in a camping, and I work with kids, and in the camping we receive persons from another country. It's a problem that you can be volunteer, so social worker. You can give your time like volunteer. It's important. Yes. Skill ability. What is the most important at a school? But in any work, confidentiality. If the student told you the most secret, don't speak about that. Because when the student in 10 years they say to you something, it's because you are the person that they feel good. I say to someone, when I die, I have a lot of secret of myself. But the secret don't represent something like security. If he or she is on race, you need to do something. But it's another secret about love. For example, I had a student there. He is a man, but he feels like one. And now in Mexico we have this kind of student that she firmly feels is difficult. But in the lab, you must do to include when they told to you the story of their life, you are oh my God, what am I supposed to do to have confidentiality is very, very important in anywhere. Don't do that. If he, social worker, is we listen and don't judge it. Don't judge. Try to that they feel good connection. I have the ability to connection with my students with us. Very, very good. Another ability, investigation the situation. You can see that they don't eat. For example, in the school, what he don't eat. Maybe communication is very important. Be leader, social worker, we are leaders. We are the leader. We have a leader. Be creativity to give them solution. No problems. Don't give problems. They have a lot of problems that give them solution. In this speech, I organized a conference when they returned after pandemic 2 years ago. We prepared a conference to make them good at school because they were closest in their house. And we prepared some conference and some activities for them. Prepared activities with much love. Another activity is you are a leader. You must have a strategic plan. Okay. And another thing, now you must to learn about mediation situation. I don't know if someone to learn about mediation with two persons. It's very common the student exit and will if you don't know, if you know about this situation, you must stop in mediation. Mediation for two between students, between parents. It's difficult between a student and teacher, but the boss must to do no such work. You need to investigation, the group, the school, and have solutions. The boss, because social worker, we are both with teachers. If they are teacher, no good person, you will have a lot of problems. Try to be very passionate, very love, compassion with the student. They have a lot of problems. They need someone to listen. It's a difference. About 1 month ago, I went to the doctor, and the doctor was a student of mine. And be good with them when you, in the future, you will need the doctor. And she was a good doctor. And I was very proud to serve in the profession. Professional doctor, and don't set them in the jail. It's different, but it's very, very, very proud that you have them in the secondary and the career. Have a very, very nice time and make the difference. And another. My school, a student of social work went to visit me, and I give to them an interview for preparing the future social work. Yes. I am volunteer in a program for scholarship. Sometimes I have in the mountain, in the top, to work to find the students, the student of Hawaii. In the school, in another is Juzgado de Adolescentes is jail for teenagers. I can take photos inside, but I can take photos outside. And another is Cristo Vive. They have a ministry to persons, to children. They give conference to the school. In these years, social College of Social Work gave me a reward for my work and education. It's the first time. College of Social Work has about 25 years. It's the first time that they give a reward. Obviously, there are a lot of other rewards in Mexico for health, for social workers, work and hospital, and investigation. But education, we don't have rewards. We don't have rewards. And now the president, Mrs. Blanca, made